What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and we've started to get more and more teasers regarding Chapter 7 Season 2 Shutdown or Showdown. I forget the name exactly. I think it's Showdown, actually. And that I've started to tease some of the new skins that we'll be seeing in that season, some of the lore, and all the crazy build-up going on. So in today's YouTube video, we'll be doing a lot of stuff. We'll be talking about all those little teasers. We'll be breaking down these images right here and what the text actually means. So, for example, there's a lot of text over there on the right side. There have been some people in the Fortnite community who have actually translated it. But for the start of this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you the Plunge trailer for Showdown. Now, this has the description in the in-game newsfeed of Take the Plunge with the actual bio of COD you, maybe not. You'll understand a little bit towards the end of the trailer what's actually going on there, but hopefully this gives you a good idea of kind of what's happening with the Fortnite season and kind of where the lore is headed. A lot of cinematic stuff going on, which is pretty cool to actually see regardless of what actually ends up happening in terms of, you know, the gameplay, I guess, or whatever. So, you know, it's really nice to see. And we got little like weird blinks going on from the fish creature. We got the whole dark harvester going and summoning or, you know, collecting different shard pieces and different things here. You know, for example, the shard down in like an Atlantis area that has a lot of fish creature actually in it. And also looked like we had like jelly, and I think there was like a non-fish in there. Okay, actually, we have sharks. I guess Moisty Merman and that type of stuff, you know, kind of go in there. But a really, really nice cinematic to actually see them go ahead and do. And then, of course, you know, there's a skin that just managed to make it to the Fortnite Island that has, like, a rivalry going on over here with Fishstick. Then Fishstick will return in Fortnite Showdown. Of course, that starts on the 19th. Now, that timer right there is a little bit inaccurate because that timer is from when the trailer and everything else actually started. But with all of that said, let's go ahead and start talking about some of the other teasers that have been going on that are a little bit more like you don't need to be in the know to understand them. Firstly, we had this image that got posted a while ago that mentioned, you know, different dates like March 7th, March 8th, March 9th, and all of these have started to slowly come true. For example, when it comes to March 7th, Ordnance Deployed, I think that was when we got the rerun of the actual Visitor rocket launching. When we got the It Returns thing on the 8th, that was actually the Dark Harvester leaving the island, and then the 9th was when the Dark Harvester returned to the island. We have the Wave 1 and Wave 2 destabilizing stuff going on as well, which has kind of made sense to everything happening just in the Fortnite world right now. And it leads up to tomorrow, March 14th, where we actually have Prepare for the Final Wave. Now, it has been already announced that we're going to be getting the Final Wave story moment tomorrow during the Power Hour, which states the following description. Jump in for the final story moment of the season, plus Power Hour on Saturday, March 14th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. There was another version that actually had some extra bits of information that just kind of mentioned that, you know, there's going to be an encore of the Power Hour the next day, and then, you know, there's going to be a vending spree Wild Week kicking up on March 12th for you to go ahead and buy stuff from vending machines to your heart's content. But that's kind of what's going on here. And then I assume March 18th for Mission Recap is going to be like a little cinematic trailer recapping everything that's kind of gone on this season, everything with the Dark Harvester and the 7, and kind of hyping us up to what happens next in the Fortnite storyline. But next up, we have to talk about these images right here. This text over on the side can actually be decoded because the whole like Fortnite language or whatever has been decoded before. And this one on the left says target acquired. Now that, you know, kind of goes in place with the whole entire buildup we got going on in relation to the story moment we're going to be getting tomorrow. So that's why the target acquired thing is kind of there. And I think that this could be potentially from the Dark Harvester or Dark Voyager and everything, and not really so much from the 7, for example, but it is a nice little teaser and a little buildup. And then from Blortson, we actually have a translation of this giant image right here with a lot of stuff going on here. Now, I do want to mention there is kind of like one swear word that is in this official like Fortnite image, so keep this in mind as I say it. You know, I'm gonna say it, so if you need to plug your ears or whatever, feel free. But we have a few things. So the first description we get states Sprite Utopia. Second description states this is absolute bullshit. Third description says water sprite composition. Fourth one says 0 point shard. The one after that says analysis. We have reality 7021, location 1174 147 19E, which is supposed to be kind of like a coordinate, like a longitude latitude type thing, except it's only really one of those, so maybe it's only like a longitude instead of like a longitude and latitude. It mentions a depth of 7 meters or 7 whatever M could be. I'm pretty sure meters is what they're trying to go with the M there. We have a biomass of 50, or I guess 50,00T, which might be, 50 trillion, the comma might be like a dot or something. Composition unknown, status stable, 0 point energy, reality 7021, ocean salinity. We have H2O Nalk, which is ocean salinity, salt water. So it appears that wherever he's going to next to get another shard is located in a reality known as reality 7021, and it's an ocean salinity area, so it's an ocean biome or whatever else. So maybe this teaser was actually just kind of focused on that one we just took the reality shard from, or maybe this is actually for an upcoming location that is like the Sprite Utopia, as mentioned by the actual dialogue over there on the left side by the actual mask itself. Regardless, though, a lot of interesting little build-ups and teasers going on here and there for the next season. A lot of or I guess not store stuff, but story-related stuff. And it makes me wonder where Fortnite's going to go from here. When we start getting more and more of the 7 coming to the game, because next season is supposed to be like the Foundation and the Order, or I guess like a new version of the Order, which makes me wonder how it's going to work with the current version we have. Maybe we end up with the 7 squared or something, with 2 versions of the 7 back-to-back working with each other. Who knows? But it has some interesting things that could actually go down with it, and they're definitely starting to build up and do these teasers a lot more like they used to. Like when I think about that teaser we watched at the start of this video, it reminds me a little bit more of like the season we got a long time ago where, Jonesy was going to different realities to rift in different characters and collaborations into Fortnite, and maybe that's what's kind of going on here again. Instead of having just, a normal little teaser build-up or whatever, or an event build-up, they're actually doing a lot of teasers related to the storyline itself. And as someone who's kind of said, the Fortnite storyline's all over the place, I don't really pay too much attention to it, I do gotta admit they're doing a pretty decent job of making it so even if you're not interested in the story that much, you think it changes too much like I do, then it is something that you can still kind of get behind the teasers and stuff of, because they're still actually making some pretty good ones, and they're continuing to have a consistent storyline that you can understand just by understanding, the mini events that go on, even if you don't want to pay attention to like all the dialogue going on in the story quest and all that type of stuff. Until next time, however, hope you champs and champions enjoyed today's YouTube video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another upload showcasing the mini Power Hour story event. So until then, peace out.